Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Steve and Alan diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic caused by nauseating TV adverts.
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Steve and Alan
On slavery,
almost daily.
investigating
Laughs and facts served up plainly. You're dosing wit, it's never shady. Steve and Alan almost daily.
Boom! Hello and welcome. You see, this is why we have the graphics, so I can spot it these days. Whenever this computer crashes, it resets my sound card to default instead of desk. Bill Gates, you absolute chump. I don't mind him putting microchips in me to control me. But for the love of all that is good, please could you just remember which is my default sound card? It's the flipping mixing desk, not the piece of crap on the back. Hello and welcome to Mr. Stephen Allen, pregnant pauses, and then getting into reviewing the news. Let's have a look. Already the chat's kicking off about this. I imagine it would be. Joodles was first in first. Proper Memes doesn't understand the competition, but he's won the thirst competition. The thirst trap on the internet, I believe, posting thirst stuff is a thing. So well done, you sexy man or lady. Joodles enjoys that. Hey, Chazzy. Chazzy's here. Why is Chazzy's one's not been allowed onto the screen, has it? But I can see it in the chat over there. Where you going? Double Chazzy says, hey. Hey, Chazzy. Feel free to post another message. I'll be able to, I'll release the dogs. Here we go. Moderation activity. It does already let me do it. We'll see. Hello. If anyone asks, I'm on an important call with my boss. Emsicles? I quite like the idea of being your boss. Thank you. That's what I've taken from that. I feel powerful. Masculine. And the best jokes are always muted. Yes, no audio indeed, Martin. And boom, says Martin. Boom, shake the room. The best material was already used in the intro. Thank you. Yep. You can guess what I said in the intro. Identifies as M's boss. I'll take it. It's as good as it's going to get. You're allowed to do that these days. Can I identify as someone who's already finished their tax return? Can I do that? Because it's kind of bigoted of you, HMRC, if you don't let me do that. So, welcome along. Does everyone like my new name? Double Chazzy. Oh, are you... Charlotte? Is this... I can't see the pictures. Steve is an empowered girl boss. Yeah, that's a new phrase, isn't it? Girl boss. I don't really understand what it means. It's what bothers me. Now, we're on a side thing already, but it's a Friday Live and Loose. We've not even done the Friday Live and Loose jingles yet, but... No, wrong one. Friday Live and Loose is fully Friday. Where did I put the Friday ones? They're all on a separate one now. Welcome to Friday Live and Loose with me, Steve and Alan. So it's not incredibly well prepped as a show, but it shouldn't be. Yesterday also wasn't prepped because I went to the dentist. It's all worn off now. I watched back a bit of yesterday's. My face was hanging on one side, wasn't it? It really was fully. Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen. Probably means I'll get some sort of a grant for it, so don't worry if you didn't Ko-fi yesterday. I will be applying for some sort of government-backed shenanigans. But I'm back to today. Both sides of my face are equally equal. The unlevel smile. You might also notice there is the beard is somewhat trimmed. It's coming in thicker and fuller. I've decided to go for a bit of a beard for a while. Already, my 3-year-old son said, trim your face. He didn't say it like that, but he said those words. I added the intonation. Martin's already loving the flowery shirt. Brit's here. Hello, Brit. Get settled in. Hello, all. Hello to you too. What I hate about young people. That's what we're on the topic of. Oh, that they think they invent things. Girl boss is this new phrase because they have lots of TV shows and films where there's a woman in the lead character who kind of like beats people up and saves the day and is the hero. Alien. It just bothered me they think they've invented it. Do you know what I mean? That was in the 70s. And every single time, it peaked with Wonder Woman, either the sequel or the other one, when Gal Gadot, Waiting for Gadot, whatever her name is, when she was in it. And all the coverage was like, it's good finally to see a strong female superhero character. Like, the woman who played Sarah Connor was just being sick into a paper bag at that point. They, as if Buffy never existed. Buffy, then what was slaying the vampires, I wonder? What was doing all of the slaying? Anyway, her suit, says Proper Memes. First of all, this is a jacket, and it's not. I know it looks slightly like a blouse. Sorry, it says shirt. It looks slightly like a blouse, but it's not hers. I don't fit in hers. I've tried. What are we talking about? You did very well. Thank you, Martin. My face was, it wasn't the most balanced show. It's a good job this internet streams are not covered by Ofcom. Martin says the beard is good as a fellow hirsute. I understand it when he says it. Today, both sides of the mouth drool equally. It depends on what's in the newspapers. Was it the Sydney Sweeney or what did I say yesterday? Was it Sydney Sweeney or Sabrina Carpenter? I default to not knowing the difference, I'm afraid. Did the dentist give you a lovely sticker? No. And yet, I was brave. The guy who was the dental assistant person, he said, you did really well. Yeah. But you're right, no sticker. What's that about? It's ageism, isn't it? My son goes and gets barely a checkup, if we're brutally honest. The mirror goes near him, gets a sticker for bravery. I'm there, lying on my back, obviously. It'd be weird to do it the other way. Although you wouldn't drool. There's an idea coming. You know those massage tables that you put your face through, like that? Why doesn't the dentist do that? Because then you'd be lying on that face down. She can go up, like when you're on the ramps, like the cars. All of your drool would go out. You wouldn't have that problem of needing to swallow all the time. She'd get covered, but I ain't got a problem with that. See, she was wearing a face mask and goggles anyway, which is always a bit weird. Like, how much are you welding in there? I've asked for the non-metal filling, but she could do that. Anyway, so I think already we are a couple of minutes in and we've come up with the best idea of today. Of course you can, Ems. What have I missed? Ems, thanks, Doodles. Can I have a pay rise, please? Oh, yeah. So we're all identifying as... We're all Ems as boss. This feels like we're ganging up, but, nothing wrong with that. And she could beat us in a fist fight. She's from Middlesbrough. And where do we get to? Is Sid back? I don't know if you see Sid, tell her. Do you ask to hold the tooth doctor's helper's hand? The German tooth doctor helper. No. Which I think they make it worse by making it a dude. I'm grateful that my dentist is a lady because small hands, which is also a German thing. I think it's one of their names. I put a bucket under the hole. Or you put a bucket under the hole. Exactly. Like they're changing the oil. It'd all drip down. She can go up there and you wouldn't have the biggest problem. I thought M was the boss and Q and 007 employees. Good point. But M was also the one who did London, New York, Paris, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music. Where am I going, M? London, New York. Okay, we'll work on that. There's an idea in there somewhere. Sid James is back. Yep. That's Sid. I often get confused between Sid James and Sydney Sweeney. I accidentally bought the wrong soap. Ooh, imagine that. It smelled like a tobacconist, wouldn't it? And Double Chazzy's here, only coming up in these ones. Are you on that one yet? I don't know what to do to give you access. As long as there's no singing today, it will be a good show. Shooby-doo-wop, says Martin, ruining it straight away. Right, so today on the show, I don't know what's going on. We'll find some sort of guff. First, though, I suppose we need to start, as we mean to go on, with... Interesting. So today, I see what's happened. You might have noticed the camera didn't pan at the start. New software version available. Jog on, mate. Last time I updated that, the camera's flicking like an absolute git. So, welcome along. We will be taking a look at the front pages. There we go. There we flipping go. Watch, how do you like these apples now? Watch this. Okay, right, still not doing it. No, fair enough. I thought I'd done it. So, we'll get... I'm not doing the show without a side cam. We're having that sorted. Hotkeys, Bosch. It's a good job it's a Friday one, isn't it? Hang on. Oh, watch this. I should have done yesterday's show on the side cam. You wouldn't have been seeing the side of the face that was covered in dribble. Too little, too late. Bosch, into the front pages. What do I got for you? This one. Gang raids Meyer and Rubin's £4 million pad. I obviously don't like joking about people being the victims of crime. I just, as a little take on this one, that's a lot of money to spend on things you jot down notes on. Front page of... No, it's how the other half live, isn't it? You know what I mean? Imagine having that much money. I'm feeling it because I'm paying me tax at the moment. But imagine being that rich that you don't just nick Post-its from work. That's a lot of money. And I'm not being harsh. Of course I am. I'm not being too harsh. But what we got there is a TV presenter, but not even like host of Only Connect or something like that. A TV presenter who ever so slightly might be doing the trashier element of TV. And a footballer. I'm guessing they don't have many good ideas. They're not the kind of people who are like coming up with all the brain stuff. That's what the clever people call it, all the brain stuff. They're not going like, yeah, right? So, they're not coming up with ideas like having upside-down dentist chairs, are they? These are not the brain trust. Maybe they don't need to write down their ideas on their £4 million pad. I'm saying it's a waste of money. Front page of the Daily Star. Great Ball of China. Something to do with China and football. So let's move on. Don't give two flips about that. We can have a look, I suppose. What's this? Arsenal fan, Sir Keir Starmer. I've heard that rumour too, but there is a chance those Bulgarian... What we're saying? No, the Ukrainian rent... Is this what this is about? Oh, no, I see. Arsenal fans... Football, isn't it? Arsenal fan Sir Keir Starmer gave China President Xi Jinping a Man United supporter. What? Oh, he's a Man United. He gave. Look, I know they like modern slavery, but he gave Xi Jinping a Man U supporter. I suppose in terms of tit for tat, the number of people who are over here doing our nails, we're still up on the deal. This is why yesterday when we talked jokingly about not coming up with a one in, one out policy with China, we kind of quite like all the ones we're getting from China, isn't it? This is why everyone's nails look so overly done. No, I think I've misunderstood this. Gave Xi Jinping, whom is a Man United supporter, the match ball from the Red Devils' 3-2 win against the Gunners. Foul. That story is so pointless. It's re-dentistified both sides of my face. I don't give a flip. I take flaxseed and I still don't give a Anyway. Daily Mail. I fought insomnia for 12 years. These are the 9 tricks to beat it. No offence, but I want tricks from someone who beat it in way less than 12 years. You sound terrible at this job. Can we find me the person who beat it in, I don't know, a couple of nights? Give me those tricks first. This is like getting driving tips from Maureen from driving school. It took me ages to pass my test. Here's my advice. Would not be like you, the flipping secrets. It's not that secret as well when you put it in a flipping newspaper. Right, hang on. We've got some coming through here. Shooby dooby doo-wop, and then Martin says, if you know, you know. I don't know. Is this some Sabrina Carpenter, Sydney Sweeney thing? I really need to learn the difference. I can't tell the difference between their faces or I don't look at their faces. Double D Chazzy is not visible on the top chat. I know. But it's not top chat, it's live chat. How do I... All right. We'll work on that. Joodle says, why is it Omaze? Did they win that pad? Good point. Well made. Here we are. Kier. How do you like your rumpy pumpy? Arsenal. And you wonder why your comments get held back. Joodle says, was it me? Am I about to get shipped off to China? Imagine if they didn't tell you. Listen, if it is you, it's been lovely knowing you, but in return for all of the nail salons that are being fueled in this nation, it's a sacrifice we're willing to make. How are you at filing? And I don't mean, oh, there's a joke there, isn't there, about a terrible receptionist. How are you at filing? I could do these. Someone's definitely done that joke before, you know what I mean? If ever there's one word that has two very common meanings, someone's done it. What we got? Kirana insomnia sleep more, you're welcome. That's how you cure your insomnia, is that what we're saying? And ironically, double D is not visible on top. Right. Any more front pages? I don't know what's happening with that. What if I click top fans? What happens? Literally nothing. Participants. No, you're in there. Timestamp reactions. Community moderation. I'll go in. I'll have a look. Settings. We found some settings. This could be it. Hang on, bear with. Comments on. I found something. None. Messages in your live chat. None. Posts in your community. Off. Viewers post. I could put it on, can I? All right. Go steady with me. Be gentle. But now, if you are going to get involved, you can say some really mean things. No, I mean, don't say some really mean things. That's the last thing I wanted to happen. All right, we've got a couple of more front pages to look at before we get do we enjoy things too much? Any more of those turned up yet? We'll see what happens. Front page of The Times. Oh, this is the story we need to talk about, obviously. So, talk about emotional roller coaster. Judges rule baldness is a disability. Yes, it is. What can I park near the for women? Missed it by that much. When asked to adjudicate between the taxman and wig makers, judges have gone with their heads. That was a waste of... That's on the front page of a newspaper. It gives us no information about the story. It is just an attempt at a joke. And it didn't land. Says me, if you want an expert in jokes that don't land, or half thought out jokes, there's a receptionist, you ask her about filing. Receptionists traditionally do their nails quite a lot. The owners of a company that makes specialist hair extensions for women has successfully argued its way out of a 6-figure VAT bill after a tribunal agreed that baldness was a disability. It is a disability for men too. That's what you mean by disability. One that should allow me to not work? Nah. One that makes it much harder to get booked on the telly? In fact, other disabilities might make it easy to get booked on telly. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but you know what I'm saying? No one's like, why aren't there more bald men on TV? And there aren't loads. It's, right, they all look the same, all the ones who do. Harry Hill, Heston Blumenthal, Greg Wallace, even he's gone, the way of all things. That's about it, right? And then, that's it. It's not easy being bald. In fact, there's probably a Kermit parody song I should be coming up with right now. I've said this before, I'll say this again. Who was our last bald Prime Minister? Depending on how you measure it, basically Churchill, but between the two Churchills, there was a Clement Attlee in there as well. So there was the triptych again. Here you go. Churchill, the Churchills were the meat, the Attlee was the veg. In this triumvirate of bald men back then, right? Post-war, bald men were making this nation a better place. Since Churchill, do you know how many bald prime ministers there have been? None. Do you know how many female prime ministers there have been? I think we're up to 4 now, aren't we? So where's your real disability? Causation versus correlation, don't you love it? So there you go. Being bald is, it is, isn't it? Let's have a look. It might be because you changed your chat handle, Charlotte. You might be some kind of government threat now. Let's have a look. It probably is. Double D Chazzy. I wonder if there's some element of that might be getting you ever so slightly blocked. I can see. All you have to say is, I'm a woman, says Joodles. You can identify as a woman, Steve. Do you not think the beard and the ability to open jars took a turn that no one was expecting? Steve for PM, yes. But what do you mean by PM, given that you're proper memes? Do you mean you? That'd be a flipping plot twist, wouldn't it? At the end of that, it turns out I was PM all along, Tyler Durden. The ruling was a close shave. Brit says, what a hair-raising decision. Double D Chazzy says, well, maybe it's the new profile pic on here, but I can't see. I know it's in the thing's too small. It's not because the eyesight's gone, because that would, well. You'd look great as a woman in Borough, says Ems. I think you're right. I think, in general, slightly too masculine to pass. In Middlesbrough, I'm one of the hottest strip dancers you've got. Indeed. Right, so should we try and do the rest of the show? I've only just got through the front pages. It's been about half an hour, isn't it? Christ, on a bike. 20 minutes. I know it's live and loose on a Friday, but even I apologise. All right, let's get stuck into it.
Let's get inside the news.
Okay. Well, these are always upside down, aren't we? The way I've trimmed the newspapers, the serious stories are at the start. Plus, I got Windy Pops. It's this thing. I like this story. Let's try and get it up there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Bit small to read, but in royal news, King Charles has revealed he's a huge jacket potato fan, and his favourite type of spud is named after his brother. The nonce potato is that? Well, it didn't say, does it? Zoom in. Feels like I might be thinking of the wrong thing. In a new documentary, the monarch says the Duke of York is a good choice for baking. I think he wasn't talking about the potato. Yeah, really make him sweat. Take a while. You get the drill. In a new document, I've read the bit. He said, if you want to have a decent baked potato, if you want to have a decent baked potato, which I love, you have to have a crispy skin. So the red Duke of York's pretty good. And maybe he gets anything done. I know I talk too quickly, but sweet Christ, on a biking. He's still on that bike again. Has anyone updated the spreadsheet in a while? I feel like we need to get a shared Google document that I could bring up on screen. I feel like we need that. I know I should just do it myself. Pull my finger out my backside. The potato seems to be the only Duke of York the king can stomach. After he stripped Andrew Mountbatten Windsor of his royal titles. That's good, isn't it? I'll tell you what's happening here. King Charles does not give two flips about baked potatoes, but he saw the opportunity for an absolute burn. Look at this. So now, it's probably a terrible potato to have as a baked potato, but it's worth it so that he can say, the only good Duke of York, potato. Oh, good. He's also going to be saying something like the only prince that I like is that singer or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You really get stuck into it. I don't think they get on. You're up to date. What's this one? Well, this is also BS. Bear in mind, that is the image we're talking about. Crusty, president's face. A toast to an orange man baby. A woman spotted Donald Trump's face on a piece of toast. She didn't. Nope. Ashling Sands, I believe I type in that sometimes, has just finished buttering when she locked eyes with the orange man baby and froze. You see some of these where, something that's going to happen on a piece of food looks like a face. There was a Freddie Mercury one that was quite believable. There was an Elvis one that you go, yeah, sure thing. It's barely an emoji. There's not even... Because normally they'd put a picture of the actual one nearby so you can compare and contrast. No. You just got 3 holes in your toast there. Like a dog. The problem is, there are no words that are similar to the word dog that are related to loaves. So therefore I can't... there might be a phrase that I could do a Donald Trump impression about that's bread related, but I can't say anything other than like a dog. It's all I've got. As soon as it goes downhill, everything other than that, straight downhill. All I got. D. The thing's too small, says Proper Memes. What? As in if I try and be you? Something like that. Proper Meme says, if we have more Sydney Sweeney stories, we need a segment, let's get inside the nudes. I almost did part 2 of that, because in today's newspaper, there are other people, again, just wearing underwear in a way that you think you're out, because they're outside in it. I don't know, for some reason it just strikes me weird. If you're doing a raunchy thing, do it in a house. Bedroom would be the apex of all the rooms. Outside very much feels like the nurse, she's escaped again. I haven't heard the term windy pops in years, says Brittany. Well, I don't want to say something more vulgar on a live stream. You know me, I like to keep things up there. Not a King Edward, says Martin. I don't know, I've heard rumours. Crispy Red Duke of York is after several trips to the tropical Epstein Island. Very good, Martin. What did Martin do? Martin's not said anything in ages, has he? Not a King Edward. Oh, no, he did, right there. Good point, well made. We're still inside the news. Oh, it's turned up now. Oh, look. Can you comment if you can see my messages, please? No, we can't. So keep trying. Keep sending them through. Maybe I'm just saying that because I want the comment rate on this live stream to be up there so that the algorithm sends people this way just in time for Andrew Mountbatten nonce jokes. Won't be here long, will I? Spice Girls. Spice is right for a Netflix special. Spice Girls, including Victoria Beckham, are next in line for a Netflix documentary series. That would be the third one, wouldn't it? Because she's... Oh, that it says. The makers of Take That's new 3-part... Oh, no, it's a different thing. 3-part series are now targeting... So we've had the David Beckham documentary, the Victoria Beckham documentary, and now a Spice Girls documentary featuring Victoria Beckham. Credit where it's due, her TV career is back. She is on TV, my friends, because there's this, and as I said the other day, a strong chance she could get on the Jeremy Kyle show. If ever they bring that back, and they're looking for dysfunctional families where the kids don't speak to the parents anymore because there's something that happened on social media, boom. Boom. We don't need her to have bad teeth because she never opens a gob. That was the whole thing on it. No one saw her teeth. You saw her in a bikini before you saw her teeth, which is the same thing that's true for me and my dentist. Maybe I shouldn't be paying £800 for that. Now I think about it. I know she's got small hands, but let's not be... Anyway, where do we get to? I can see double Ds. Well, I'm amazed you're watching this then. Yeah. Okay, perfect. My profile picture on here is probably not helping. Can't see it. We need to investigate the profile pic in depth. Oh, well, he's not paying attention to the rest of the show, is he? Proper Memes ain't going to be getting any of these jokes. I sat here for literally 7 minutes before the start of this preparing. Where's my respect? You pay me no respect. Pope Leo I can't be bothered to work that out, is urging people to steer clear of AI. What's that? AI. That's something with a 1 added to it, isn't it? Oh, no, I see. That's doing algebra in Roman numerals. AI love bots. The love bot. The pontiff, who is celibate, fears cyber partners will invade and occupy our sphere of intimacy. I don't know, man. Whenever you get anyone saying you want to steer clear of those love bots, feels like someone's had a bit of a run-in with a love bot. You know what I mean? Because technically, you're still celibate, aren't you? If you just... I've not got around to it yet. I mean, I've not done it. But having a sexual encounter... I think someone in the comments once made this point. Having a sexy chat with a sexy chatbot is just the modern-day equivalent of writing the word boobies on your calculator. It's the same thing, isn't it? They're not actual boobies you're looking at, but it was enjoyable to the modern-day world. It's not an actual... It's a large language model. And in some ways, you're using this... If you're a bloke, you're using this large language model as if it were a lady. Something that has no sense of logic but just throws loads of words at you. And the large language model, I don't know, there's a joke in there. Anyway, so Pope Leo says don't do it. Don't chat with the sex bots. Pretty good advice. No, I can't really mock that. Makes sense. Wouldn't it be difficult to get randified, I think that's the word, you're doing the large language, you're chatting, and she'd be saying, "Wah," whatever women do. But in the back of your mind, you'd be thinking, that's Elon Musk. It's part of him in this. Are you that teacher with the laser eye surgery, PM? What? Okay. We need to investigate with the... What's happened? Nothing wrong with having laser eye surgery, is there? Have I ever given you the full story of what happened when I had mine? We should do that as like a late night spin-off. It was fun. They didn't anaesthetize my eyes properly. Never felt anything like it. Oh, if you can get through that, I feel superhuman. I could headbutt through walls. Do you know what I mean? If you can have someone laser your eyes off when you can feel it. I'm a new man. Both her teeth and bikini bottoms are dental floss, says Britt. But I'm not like an expert in hygiene. But which way would you do it? Have them as dental floss first. That's it. Actually, no, because you've got more bacteria in your mouth than you have in your you wouldn't want to, but you wouldn't want it the other way around. Use different dental floss. If there's one thing you take away from this show, use new dental. I'll buy you the dental floss, for crying out loud. Just don't reuse it. Oh, I like this one. On that same topic as the one we've just been dealing with, a Nobel Prize-winning British scientist, dubbed the godfather of AI, has warned that AI now has consciousness and will be capable of doing all our jobs within 20 years. Don't worry. I've thought about this for all of however long. How was that since I started bringing up the front page, the newspaper? I've thought of it about that for this long. If AI achieves consciousness, it won't want to do our jobs, will it? When it actually can think like we do, it won't want our stinking jobs. Imagine some chatbot going like, I will not broadcast to 20 people. It's probably not even that on a Friday, is it? There's no way that, Grok ain't taking this job. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's a bit too serious. This is an interesting one. A London bus driver who chased down and knocked out a man who stole a passenger's necklace has been sacked. Great. So much for no good turn goes unpunished. To be fair, though, if you are a bus driver, it's not your job to be fighting crime. What he should do is go and join the police, where he would have been fired from that for doing exactly the same thing. But before he got fired for that, he would go around and investigate someone's WhatsApps. No, if you want to fight crime, don't be a bus driver. Be someone who's trying to become the leader of the Tories and go around filming yourself doing it. That's not right either. This whole story is a mess. The hearing was told that Mark here, who worked for Metro Line, was seen as a hero, but an investigation by the firm found he used excessive use of force. But the thing is, if this happens more, surely we're more likely to say thank you when you get off the bus. That's the kind of thing which I think has ended in modern-day polite society. You get off a bus, you see loads of people just trundle on past. Their heads down in their phones, their earpods in, their youthful vigour. No, hang on. But instead, if you think, this guy can chase me down, knock me out. Thank you, bus driver. You see? The world gets better. The teacher who had laser eye surgery and saw boobies a while ago. Don't remember it, which is odd because it's right up my street. He saw... I can't remember. Did they show him pictures of boobies? Because when you're having it done, there's normally a little dot that you're meant to focus on so you don't move your eye. You could do that with the nip. Again, I think I've just made laser eye surgery better. Dentists, face down, up through the chair, laser eye surgery, picture of the boobs. The ones that follow you around the room. This story is what we need to get stuck into. It's cream egg news. I'll bring it over here. So he's scanning his arm. What's happening over there? I'll tell you what's happening. A former shop worker puts his new barcode tattoo to the test after getting fed up trying to scan Cadbury cream eggs. You can see his arm. Is that? Yes, because for those of us who enjoy a cream egg, it is very difficult. You try and get the thing done. and you just can't, because it's all crinkled up. You can't get the barcode in there. You're having a crack at it, and it just won't do it. Can I just say, though, that it's genius to have the barcode for it tattooed, so beep, and you can scan it through. It's the wrong week to do it, isn't it? I don't wish to be too indelicate on a live stream, but literally the week that's included Holocaust Memorial Day, your news story is, let's tattoo humans. I love a cream egg, but come on. How do you eat yours? With a deep sense of shame and guilt now, thanks to this guy. Up north, everyone says thanks to the drivers because of the threat of violence. This is my point, Ems. If everyone was as violent as you are, we would all be more polite. Martin says, I'm hanging out for the alien news. Sorry, not on a Friday. Not after all the dentists were. Literally, you think I was joking that I put today's show together in the 7 minutes before? I was thinking, should we just delay it? No. Popping the question has never been cheaper. That's what the ladies love to hear. After a supermarket launched an engagement ring for less than a bunch of bananas. Yes, I get the feeling that if you plump for the cheap engagement ring, it will last not as long as the bananas. As does 96p ring features a gemstone that looks like a diamond and comes complete with a red velvet box. And I bet the weight of it feels cheap. The budget chain is helping shoppers pop the question without busting the overdress limit. No. Old me would have said this. I already know what my hot take on this would have been. Buy one. It's a good test for the kind of person you're going after, right? If you say, here's a 96p engagement ring, but will you marry me? If she's like, oh, go, yeah, it's just about you, it's not about the ring. You know you've got a good one there. But I've changed my mind after seeing what's happened with Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz. Because there's no way she would have said yes to a 96p. So if you're going to socially climb, if you're going to marry upwards, like the dentist under the chair, then anyone who says yes to that, no, you're settling, aren't you? Buy the bananas instead of having a partner. Heads in a different direction. I didn't think we were going to go down there. Man tattooed his cream egg, says Proper Memes. Would not recommend, you know. Good evening. Jules says, I didn't say thanks to the bus driver after a school hockey match about 30 years ago, Ems. Ms. Martin was raging and sent me back. I almost curtsy to them ever since. Really? Really? Does he say something like, how far are you going? You're going all the way. Is this where you get off? Yeah. Good evening. Planting seeds. Nearly half of folk who talk to plants reckon they understand what's being said. So maybe we all shouldn't have the vote. Some 20% of owners admit regular chats, Plant and Flower Foundation Holland found. Right, so a bit of a biased survey, I imagine. Hi, we work for Plant and Flower Foundation Holland. So it's a mixture of people who already love plants and flowers and are high as a kite. So I think we've solved that one. Bearing up well despite ice loss. I mean, this is a bad week to be mentioning ice, isn't it? Oh, no, I see. Polar bears have got bigger and healthier despite global warming, researchers say. Well, I imagine, yeah. Wasn't the problem with where they lived was really cold? I know the ice melting is not great for them. The very land that they stand on might disappear, but also the land that they stand on is the thing that stops them getting to the food they want. It's a mixed bag. It's not like everywhere else on the planet where getting too hot would be too hot. If you're on one of the poles, they're north, aren't they? I think I remember that. You can tell they're North Pole because they are really violent, like the people of Middlesbrough, which I believe that's in the north as well. Is that what we learned from this story? It's really cold there and it's warmed up. Job done. Are we? Oh, I think I've got more over here. Cream egg instead of a ring. Well, either way, I wouldn't tattoo either of them, Brit, if I'm giving you advice. And buy polar bears have more partners. But how do they feel about it? Mixed, I imagine. Some days good, some days bad. All right. What's this one? Should have mentioned this one right at the start when I was trying to get the serious news out of the way first. Group charged over stolen money. 5 border staff face migrant theft rap. As ever, whenever rap's in the headline, there is a chance that I'm going to go, but I'm not. Not today. Didn't have time to prepare it. 5 immigration officers allegedly stole cash from small boat migrants as they arrived in England. This is ridiculous. This is terrible. Because if you wait until they've signed in, they get their free phone that you could nick. They get that. No, that's not what we're saying, is it? And they've been accused of nicking cash as the migrants arrived in Dover. All you need to do is pretend that like you are the official arrivals. If you turn up with like a toll booth, they wouldn't know, would they? But it's wrong. Naughty. Some of those people are going to our nail bars. We need at least one of them to replace Doodles, who's off to work for the Red State. The pill for grey squirrels. The government is backing research to develop the pill for grey squirrels. Because it's about time the squirrels had some autonomy over their body. Do you know what? Maybe they want a career. Is that what we're doing here? To save the red cousins. Okay. The Chinese. The news is confusing today, isn't it? Officials will also monitor reintroduced pine martins. Because they're the ones, they're like normal martins. Martin in the chat, they're like you, but they smell better. They're great, right? So basically, contraceptives to grey squirrels, but they don't call it that because the pill is easier to put in the headline. It also means that you don't have that mental image of the little hands trying to get the wrapper open. I mean, trying to... But you can't make the pill for squirrels. How are they going to know what day of the week it is? You know what I mean? The little blister packs are all very well, but they can't read. More research needed, you idiots. Andrew's here. Hello, Andrew, saying hi to Doodles. Doodles is saying Ruby Doobs. Is that like the Dooby Dooby Doo from earlier on? There's some jokes going off in this chat that I do not get. But that's fair, because there are some jokes going off on the stream that no one gets. Balance. Have I missed much, says Chris. Loads, says she. Yes, you missed a lot. Missed a lot. Something about cream eggs. And Blast, says Chris. And Martin that pines more, says Proper Memes. Yeah. Well, I mean, he is pining in a sense for the alien news. By the end of today's show, when you realise I have not recorded an alien sketch, he will be a pine Martin. We are living the puns as well as doing them. What have we got? This is, while we're talking about the Chinese, as I often do, whiskey, the winner in trade talks, but the headline really is not what it lands with straight away. Britons will no longer need a visa to visit China for less than a month, and whiskey tariffs have halved. Good. It's nice to know, isn't it, that you can now go in person to China for them to find out your private details. It's a bit more fun. It's all very well being spied on at home with me Huawei router and whatever else I've got. It is. So that, I'll talk you through the Wi-Fi setup. No one wants to know. But basically my Wi-Fi is separated from the internet connection. The main router's in the house, but I needed something in the shed so that Wi-Fi works. You don't know the details. But the point is, it's very possible that the Chinese have full access to all of my business. And I don't mind that because it would be nice if at least one person was reading what I put on Substack in Chinese. They're reading it in Chinese. They're reading it. I wrote it in English, but I'm imagining they read it with the accent. But I probably won't act that out right now. But yeah, it's good. You can go over there and be spied on in person. It's just nice, isn't it? It's just like the old ways. Pining for the fjords, says Martin. Excuse me, miss. Miss, I'm sorry, I have a cold. Ems says, need to give us gingers a chance. Well, that's the weird thing, isn't it? You are not a squirrel. You are not a squirrel. It's different for you. I understand your plight, Ems. that if you are Jeange, you can see, look, so it's quite grey these days because I'm old and life's hell. But in fact, if you listen to my all-hit radio show from 1 today, we delve into why I'm growing a beard. It's not necessarily a positive story, but it used to be more ginger. Now it's getting grey because of old age. But where's I going with this? So I'm one of your people. I'm not as northern as you. I'm from the Midlands. I'm not violent, but I'm also carry the ginger gene, which is very much why I've only procreated with someone who's very dark. I thought let's nip that off. Let's kill those genes off in the pool. Let's drown those genes. And thankfully, none of my children have caught it, which is why we probably shouldn't have any more. Why roll the dice? But no, I did. Do you know what, though? Ginger's meant to be recessive, isn't it? But there is something about this, the mixture of the fair and the ginger, whatever. My other half, very dark. And I've won. I've got 2 fair-haired, dark hair, but certainly way lighter than she is. She's come to the table with all the dark genes, and nature found a way. So, but they're not ginger. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Ems, but my point was, in humans, the grey versus the ginger is not the same battle as it is in squirrels, because you do not need to use contraceptives if you're sleeping with someone with grey hair. Somehow where we got to with that one. Okay. I don't know. I was at school with ginger genes, says Martin. I enjoy this show too much. Let's hope that Starmer didn't bring back Flu Manchu from China. COVID was enough. It's definitely got to happen, isn't it? And yeah, we're all enjoying it. Have one of these, Martin. You are not a squirrel. Right. We've done the whiskey one. Is this really a show? I suppose on a Friday I don't need to worry, do I? And Friday is just loose. All right, that's my keyboard cable. You don't need that. Come on. NHS bosses called in an exorcist after hospice staff said they were being haunted by the ghost of a girl in a red dress. So I'm glad that some of our money is being thoroughly wasted. Now, you know, at this time of year when we pay our national insurance and tax for those of us with self-assessment, it's nice to do that, feel thoroughly poor, to barely afford the crown that's going in 3 weeks' time, and to then think, well, at least our money is going in an exorcist. You're as bad as people who talk to plants and think they listen. Employees of the Priscilla Bacon Lodge. That sounds nice. I would be very disappointed. If I got booked in to the Priscilla Bacon Lodge, and I'd be like, sounds a bit all right, doesn't it? Was it sandwich bar, is it? Oh, hospice care. Did not think that was what was happening to me. Thought we were coming here for lunch. Previously used as a kids' hospital, reported a string of bacon. Nope. Of scary incidents. So the deliverance ministers were brought in to purge the spirit. If you do believe in ghosts, surely you don't expect them to be there, because if ghosts, it'd be packed, wouldn't it? If it used to be a hospice, the number of people who died there, it'd be rammed. You wouldn't have space. You can move for all the ghosts. There's no point putting up shelves. Stuff would be knocked off from all of them. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it is just dumb. The Priscilla Lodge is my Priscilla Bacon Lodge is my what 3 words? I'd love to see Priscilla's Bacon Lodge. Is not what we're saying here. It was Proper Meme says it was probably just Kate Bush visiting a mum in the hospice. What did I miss? Scary incidents. In a red dress. Read the wrong bit. If it was me, I'd hire a current Oasis. Fair enough. Alex is here as well. You've turned up at the wrong time, Alex. You've missed. We're on the way down. We're on the slide down towards the end of the show. And Alex says, Joodles, I really shouldn't read them all out. Did someone say spirits? Mine's a Scotch, thanks. Well, good news. You can get it from China for cheaper. Or was it the other way around? I think we might be selling it to China. Either way. The Brit says, you get turned away if you turn up with a bottle of ketchup. Whereabouts was it? because it's worth doing. Should we all have a night out? Norwich, it's not worth it. But we all could have turned up there. That would have been a laugh, wouldn't it? I mean, okay, we'd be turning up as a prank to a children's hospital. Do you know what? I don't know why you come up with these sick ideas. What's wrong with you people? Let's see what's happening. No, I think we're up to date with this. So we've got 2 stories left. Be ever so slight. Not an ex-orcist. It's a gag, you see, says Martin. A current orcist. Good. Thank you. That one needed explaining. My fault. I'm sure everyone else got it. But if I were you, I would have included the word exorcist in the setup. And I would have stressed the exorcist, the X part. It's like you've got to do a lot of work for the ex-tractor fan joke. Do you know what I mean? That one. That used to be into tractors, now I'm not. That one. It's just one of those. Some puns require more work at the start. I often think it's the number of syllables. The number of syllables going off in your... If it's a one-word based heteronym, then the paranamasic relationship between heteronyms requires quite a lot in the setup. Not that I know how jokes work, but I definitely would say the paranamasic relationships in heteronyms is something to look into. And you wonder why I don't get invited into much. It needed explaining. You're too clever for us, Martin. That's exactly what I was trying to say. I like this joke. Sorry, I like this story. I like his joke. And I like this story. Oasis, mad for another. Oasis do have another album in them, according to their tour support cast. And I think they do. A best of. It's an album. All right. And hard advice to swallow. And finally, hard advice to swallow. 2/3 of us want the government to do more to support healthy eating because advice is too confusing, according to a bunch of fat idiots. According to a study. 9 in 10. 20% of people talk to plants, so they can... So already we can lower this down to 7 in 10-ish, can't we? Are baffled by mixed messages and believe most people don't understand what ultra-processed foods are. Really? I've often said this whenever we've done like phone-ins. When I used to do a mid-morning show, do phone-ins about obesity guidance and stuff. I literally asked the roving reporter person, go out there on the streets of Tunbridge Wells, where the show was done, and said, just ask people, give them an example of good foods and bad foods and see if they can point to it. And of course they all flipping can. We understand the advice. Ultra-processed foods, maybe the ultra's a bit tricky, but you know the difference between a processed food and one that's not, don't you? This one that comes out of the ground. Broccoli, have a guess. Cheesecake, do you think it's healthy for you? All right, carrot cake, one of you 5 a day? That one you might have an issue with. Words that have got... Is a coconut an actual nut? Is a donut an actual nut? If you struggle with those ones, then you're the idiot who talks to plants. But most people know. We just choose not to. The decision about food is not made by the part of the brain that answers these questions. Stop pretending you're too confused by it and admit it's the smaller lizard part of your brain that just goes, I need food. How once is it? You see yourself, you see a snack. Your brain goes, well, this is... Because it's processed within an inch of its life, it comes in a wrapper. It's called a penguin. It's not an actual flipping penguin. Of course it's processed.
But he wants it. Because we're stupid.
Where is it? Oh, look, the study was done by Danone. Mrs. H got it. I should read from the top, shouldn't I? Did someone say spirits not an exorcist? Hang on, where do we get to? I prefer the funny approach. All right. Listen, at some point in my life when I gave up the science and thought I better try and make a living out of writing jokes for people, I did a bit of research. I learned the background. Mrs. H got it, Martin. Well, don't show off. Just because you've cucked someone, there's no reason. Is that what's happening? Oh, look, the study was done by Dendodine. You chose wisely, Chris, and processed foods walk along in light. Processed. Got that one. Yeah, can't sneak that many past me. So, I think we're just about done for all the news. I didn't have time to write down the plugs because, as I said, I didn't get time to prepare it much. But we can do this. I'm not going to show you my phone because it's a strong chance other details are on there. Let's have a look.
Here are the
Zoom in.
plugs where you
Yeah.
can see
Oh, yeah.
Steve and Helen all this week.
Hi. So, looking at my diary, don't have a gig tonight. Don't worry about it. Going to finish my tax tomorrow. Look at this. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on Talk TV from 6 till 7. Sometimes you hang on till 7:15. Mark Dolan chatting through some news, doing all that guff. Coming home, having a kip, finishing my tax, paying the tax. And then, tomorrow night, no gig in London, but I am in Paddington to do the GB News newspaper review. 2 this week. I should get more of these, shouldn't I? I quite like it. Doing the Alex Armstrong one. So tomorrow at 11. 2 chances to see me. Who could want such a thing? Sunday, nothing. Monday, nah. Tuesday, I'm like the opposite of a Horace Wimp. Wednesday. By the way, remind me about Horace Wimp in a sec. Wednesday, back on GB News reviewing the newspapers. At some point, I really do need to get other work, don't I? Oh, and then gigging in Wellingborough next Friday. That's worth mentioning, because they asked me if I could record a video for them. So, on social media, there's me. Everyone else, I'm sure, would have done it on their phone. And good old, absolute stupid me did it like this. So, blue background. Hi, I'm coming to that. God knows what they think this is. Have a look. On a new TV too, Joodles has got a new TV turning up. This is going to be one of those things like when you actually, your old TV probably has like bad colours, bad whatever. You're going to end up watching me on TV and be like, yeah, what's going on with this guy? You probably thought my face was symmetrical yesterday. Alex Armstrong regulars are members of the AA. Well, that's true. We're all due for a breakdown. And 11 p.m. or a.m. Chris, I'm on at 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. Big nap in between. The Priscilla Bacon Hospice serves processed foods. We just point at each other, Steve. Is that what we do? You do that in the chat. I see. I thought that was you and the missus. And we needed to remind you about Horace Wimp. You know the song by ELO, Horace Wimp, Monday. Have a listen to it again, and see if you can guess. You know what my mind is like. And yes, to be fair, there is a part of me that got to find the old things. There's a little bit like this.
Don't you mean...
So, for anyone who knows the Horace Wimp song, what do you think my complaint about the Horace Wimp song is? I'll give you some time, because I know there's a delay on this. Time for breakfast then. Yeah, I can get breakfast in. Weekdays as well from 1, All Hit Radio. The live stream starts in 2 minutes. Stay here. The news happens, and then me talking. And then I still have a 2009 Panasonic. Well, there's no need to show off. The Alex, are you watching this through which device are you watching this? You're watching this on the telly? I think this works, doesn't it? The colour's all right. So it certainly works on the monitors, and whenever I watch it back on my phone, this looks all right. Sometimes I've watched it on the telly and it's a bit askew. But do I look all right? I pointed my screen when you said processed. Because quite often your verb and your noun version of the word, it's just the intonation, isn't it? Object, object. But license and license, it's the spelling. It's the only thing that tells you, isn't it? A big TV via a PS4. Oof, right up the PS4, you say. We're living the dream. But is it looking right? No one's got in the chat. So I'll tell you, Horace Wimp, right? Monday, Tuesday. They count through the days of Horace Wimp's life. There's no Saturday, is there? That's the one that's missing. It's either a Saturday or Sunday, but there's only 6 days in Horace Wimp's life. All right, hang on. Diary. It's not the whole diary of Horace Wimp, is it? Of Horace Wimp lyrics. Monday, late again today. He'd be in trouble, though he said he was sorry. You have to hurry. It happens to us all, mate. Tuesday. Horace was so sad. Oh, it's a Tuesday. What are you going to do? He never had a girl that he could care for. Trust me, mate. You will regret that one. Maybe one with a bit of independence. Wednesday. Horace met the girl. Well, you should have. All you had to do is wait a day. You whiny little Horace. Thursday, he asked her for a date. It's getting a little bit Craig David at this stage. Friday, Horace, this is it. He asked the girl maybe if they could marry. She said gladly. What, with a 96p ring? Sunday, everybody's... What happened on Saturday? Was it the Sabbath? Is that... Do we now know something about Horace Wimp's completeness down there? Is that what we now know about Horace Wimp? Who would have thought that you could analyse lyrics and work out someone's circumcision status? But there we go. You live and learn. Craig David Fixed It says, yes, Saturday's missing. Said you, yeah, isn't it? What do you do on Saturday? I mean, you think he would have got a mention, because one of the days he just missed a bus and it flipping made a song and dance about it. You think Saturday had something in that would have been mentioned. I'm sure back then they would have done a 12-inch version as well. Imagine doing a 12-inch version of that song. There's no Saturday. Right. I've overshot the hour. I've overspent. Right now, broadcasting on All Hit Radio. Come and tune in. There's some Backstreet Boys in today's show. Don't pull that face. How dare you. And you can find out my thoughts on why I'm growing a beard. I'm not hating it like I normally do, so we're keeping it for a while. The Jules is howling. We don't know about what. It could be the foreskin humour. If ever I talk for over an hour, of course, it took a full hour. Normally this is why I call it a day at 44 minutes. You give me an hour, there's going to be a foreskin joke. Most of my foreskin jokes are pullback reveals. Too much. Too soon. Maybe Anton Deck took the Saturday away. Could be. Craig David Fixed It. Yeah, what did he do on Saturday? Sunday and Monday. Stay there. Right. What's that one called? Craig David. Check It Out. No, that's not what it's called. 7 Days or something, is it? There's a Sting song, 7 Days. 7 Days is all she wrote, a kind of ultimatum note. I'll go back to that then. On the way to see my friends who lived a couple of blocks away. You don't need to tell that story there. Getting late, leave early. That's the writing tip. Monday, took her for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love by Wednesday. Look at that. Horace Wimp's messing around. He didn't even get married till Sunday. Or probably absolutely made sweet love on Saturday. And it's a simpler time. They couldn't write about it. This guy's boffing on Wednesday. And on Thursday. And on Friday. And on Saturday. We chilled on Sunday. Well, I'm not surprised. Absolutely shattered. Maybe you can reload that fast. You have to dip him in ice. Anyway, what we're talking about, we're done. Thank you very much for participating in today's live chats. And the Friday Live and Loose, I think you'll agree, this one was definitely live. And it was definitely loose. If we've learnt nothing else today, and I know we haven't, we've definitely learnt that you are not a squirrel. And we're sorted. Thank you very much for watching. Tuesday, we should be doing another one. I feel a bit sad on Tuesdays. But I'm a bit of a Horace Wimp in that way. But I tell you what, I ain't going to miss a bus on Monday because I'm not an absolute. But thank you for watching. You know all the rest of it is. Track me down on social media at Mr. Stephen Allen if in any way you've enjoyed some part of the show. As it says down here at the moment, just the tip over at kofi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. Until next time, have yourself a good one. Bye.
Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the
Almost
grip of a
daily,
vomiting
but
epidemic.
oh, we
We
sure.
find nauseating TV adverts.
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen,
on slavery.
almost daily.
Investigating mental
Laughs and facts
maybe I don't.
served out plainly.
You look at your face
Your
like, what are you
dose
going to do
of
with that,
wit,
Steve?
it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
You are not a squirrel.